Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff.
Hi, it's Solo P1. Welcome to F1 2025 round 6 of the Miami GP race weekend review. We were supposed to do this on Monday, but we thought because there's no Formula One for 2 weeks, that we'll probably wait because we had a lot of watch-alongs coming up as well. So we're here now. We're going to be discussing what happened at Miami. I hope you're still with us. Hope you're still interested, but it is what it is. We're going to talk about Miami Grand Prix and what happened over the weekend. I also done a qualifying video over the weekend as well because there was no football on. So I did it. I decided to do it because obviously when the football season finishes, when the football season finishes, we're going to be doing qualifying reviews as well to try and eat up the time. And plus we'll be covering lots of stuff over the summer holidays as well. But enough of me talking, enough of me rambling on. I'm going to bring in my coach, he's my partner in crime, Toto Abba. No camera.
I'm having problems, hold on.
It's your Logi. Put the Logi on first. Anyway, put your Logi thing, it'll pop up in a minute. Anyway, Toto Hammer. Big up to Toto Hammer. We're going to be discussing it. F1 Grand Prix over the weekend. But before we start discussing it, what you been up to, bro? What you been up to? Hello?
No, it's been doing well, man. Sorry for my camera's a bit off. It'll be on in the back. Yeah, it's on now. But yeah, been doing well, man.
Camera, zoom up.
Been doing well. Just been catching up with the Formula One. Been recapping.
Zoom up your camera a bit, bro.
Everything's still good.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, I thought he was ready. Sorry, guys. His camera's having technical difficulties with his camera. But yeah, let's talk about the Grand Prix, man. Oscar Piastri winning it again. So he's kind of making a statement now this season, making a statement that he's ready to be world champion by the looks of it. He had a good start at the beginning. Didn't get pole. But again, look, when you got a car like that, when you got a car like what Oscar Piastri's got, that McLaren, you don't really need to get pole. It reminds me of the car. It reminds me of the season where Max Verstappen a couple of seasons ago where he didn't need to get pole. Zoom it up a bit, bro. He doesn't need to get pole. Once you got a car like that, it's just fast. There you go. Perfect. No, you had it then. Yeah. You don't need to get pole when you got a car like that because you know when the race pace comes, you know that you're going to be on it. So, Toto Hammer, I'm asking you, what did you think of the weekend?
I thought the weekend was overall all right, to be honest. You know, this is not one of my favourite tracks. I think overall the weekend was good. It was quite interesting. Of course, you had the weather involved as well with the wet race. The sprint race was also entertaining as well. But I think overall the weekend was good for me. I think I predicted the winner to be Piastri this weekend again, and it was him again. But look, just put that all aside. I thought it was a good weekend for me.
Yeah, it's looking like at this stage of the game, we discussed it at the beginning of the season. When it got to Miami, it's probably going to be. We'll know who the fastest is. I'm not having any hope for Ferrari at this point.
No.
Martin Brundle saying that Ferrari might get better. Yeah, but it might be too late then if they do get better.
The end of the season.
Yeah, they'll get better when it's too late, when the season's done, innit? Like they did last season. But yeah, man, Ferrari not looking good. Max Verstappen trying his best to keep up the McLarens. And it's just not working, is it? People are going to realise, that it's not Max Verstappen all along. That's what people don't understand, that the Grand Prix, most of the time, it's the car. Most of the time. If you got a good car, you're there. As long as you can hold your nerve between close racing, as long as you can hold your nerves, wheel-to-wheel racing, you'll most likely win a title. And Max Verstappen is finding that out now. He just had a kid. Fair play to him, had a kid.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him and his partner, PK. But at the end of the day, it's looking like McLaren. It's nothing really we could talk about regarding who's probably going to win the title at this point. So, what was your thoughts on the sprint race?
I thought the sprint race was very entertaining. I thought credit to Antonelli getting the pole. You know, we looked really good in qualifying. That young of age as well, first season Formula One, getting his first pole. No, it's a sprint race, but pole's a pole at the end of the day. I'm not sure if it counts as a pole, but I still think it counts as a pole. Anyway. Yeah, it's his first pole in Formula One. And look, it was unfortunate. You know, first lap of the Grand Prix, first couple of laps of the sprint race.
Yeah,
he did lose a couple of positions, which, you know, lost him on the lead. But look, I'm happy for Antonelli, man, getting that pole position, giving him confidence going into the sprint race. I know we lost positions in the sprint race, but look, big up to him getting the pole.
And it was wet as well. It was a wet night. The sprint race. Now I'm on about the sprint race now. I know the qualifying. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. You got the qualifying. You got the pole for the sprint qualifying. Big up to him. First, for like you said, first season. You can see why Daddy told Uncle Bono wanted him at Mercedes, isn't it? You can see that Uncle Bono saying good luck, son. Anyway. But yeah, you know what makes me laugh though? I know it's probably nothing to do with the weekend, really. It is kind of. It's more from the journalist side. Why did I always have to throw Lewis Hamilton's name into the hat? When it's regarding Charles Leclerc, or not even Charles Leclerc, talk about Lando, anyone like that, they've always got to bring up Lewis Hamilton. They never can bring up his achievements. They always bring up his negatives all the time. He always said, "Oh, Max," he goes, Max compared to Lewis, Leclerc compared to Lewis. Why can't I just chill and let the man breathe? You get me? This is his first season in Formula One with a Ferrari. We've talked about this already. Yeah. And even after the first or second race, they're saying, "Oh, he's lost it. Look, when you're used to driving with a Mercedes engine for all your life in Formula One, because people say, "Oh, yeah, but he was at McLaren." Yeah, he was at McLaren, but he was driving with a power unit of a Mercedes. So he knows everything about the Mercedes power unit. Give him time. And the fact is, the car is horse crap. So they can't say nothing now. See, when Charles was winning stuff or getting up there in the times, there was criticising Lewis. Now Charles is not doing so good now in qualifying in the race. They're not saying anything because it doesn't suit their narrative. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he likes the environment around him. I don't think he likes it at all.
What do you think? What do you mean?
On the radios, when he was with Bono, he had a good relationship with Bono. He was quick. Bono was on the button. He knew what Hamilton wanted. But now he's in this new environment, new engineers, new race engineer that he talks to, and it seems like his engineer's slow at reacting, but doesn't know what Lewis wants. Like Lewis wants something, say like all weekend. And even previous races, he hasn't been getting on good with his race engineer. And that's a factor as well. It's not just the car. It's the environment around him that he don't like. And like you said, going from Mercedes to Ferrari, it's a big difference. It's not just,
his age as well.
He's 8-time world champion. He's going to get used to it. No, it's a different car, different team, different language to speak as well. You know, when you go there, most of the drivers have to learn Italian. So that's a factor as well. It's just there have to be time, and plus you got new regulations coming up as well. Don't forget that. It's not just it's one season and it's going to be like, no, it's not going to be like that. New regulations, we don't know. We could have predictions on what the cars are going to be like, but realistically, we don't know where the cars are going to stand. Alpine could be a championship winning car next year. Haas could be a championship winning car next year. If you know what I'm getting at, it's different regulations. It's going to be different speed, different everything. This is why we just got to wait out. Lewis, to be fair, I think with the car that he's got, first time doing in the car, he's qualified not maybe good, but I think he's doing quite all right in the race. You know, and we just got to give it time, that's all. We can't just be jumping shit. Yeah, we got this big hype that's going to Ferrari. Had this really big hype, especially from the English media. Big hype. And then when he finally gets in the car, they want to put him down again. I wouldn't say that purposely want to put him down, but they're trying to put him down. by saying he's lost it and all. No, he hasn't. It's his first season in the Ferrari. Give him time and watch until the new regulations. That's where we can stand. In my opinion, I think if Ferrari's bad next year, maybe a high chance of Lewis retiring. Because
probably.
You know, what's the point of staying in the Formula One in the next couple of years if the car's going to be bad anyway?
Yeah.
You know, so it's not Ferrari's year this year. Maybe next year there could be a transition for the championship, but you know, we can't expect that either.
Fair enough. So I get where you come from. You don't think it's the case where it is old dogs. I know old dogs can't learn new tricks.
No, I think that's crap. Really, I think if you could get maybe, but new regulations got to get adapt to that as well. So I think the experiences he's got, yeah, that could be a factor. But I think with the experience he's got, he can adapt. Like new regulations coming, it's going to be new for everyone. That's
the great one. The great one's doing it.
That's where we're going to see. Yeah, like when Schumacher went to Mercedes, they transferred him there, just to set up the car, because it's some experienced drivers who've been in the game for a long time, that know how to set up the car, that know how to get used to the car and how to make it faster. That's why I went to Mercedes for, to set up the car, because he's good at setting up the cars and then knew something about the car. So Lewis does that now. Look how long he's been driving in Formula One for. He knows about the cars. That's what I'm saying. We need to wait out for the new regulations, because it's going to be new for everyone, and it's usually experienced drivers who usually prevail and good at setting up the car.
You're right. 100%. Now, all it is with Lewis, he was talking about the settings on the car, right? Now, the settings. He was talking about the settings on the car, that everything's in a different way. I remember Carlos Sainz was alluding to it as well. When he went to Ferrari, all the settings are weird. Everything where all the settings on the right, in the Ferrari car, they're on the left, and all the little buttons that you have to learn. It's very complex. It's not about just getting in the car and going. You know, and it's not that easy, you know what I mean? Because everybody would do it. Yeah. So let's get onto the sprint qualifying. Sprint race. Charles, at the beginning of the sprint race, which was weird. Charles, we're gonna go through this briefly. Not gonna be long for the sprint race. Charles crashed on the way to the grid on the inter tires. So it was pouring down with rain. And for me, when I was watching it, the first thing I thought is full wet. You could see by the surface that it was full wets. So I was thinking, why is he not on the full wets? So the sent out Charles Leclerc, the sent out Charles. You know, your background, you can hear a lot of background than yours, in the background.
Is that better?
Yeah, just turn the background a bit. If I'm talking, you can always mute your mic.
Yeah.
Right. So Charles crashed at the beginning of the intermediates. So the safety car come out. Turn 10, there was a big river of water where Max Verstappen locked up. You can see a big river. It looked like a river. It looked like the River Thames, to be fair. I was only joking. So there was a 30-minute delay. There was. So Charles was out of the race, 30-minute delay. And then when it resumed, they said it's going to be a controlled start. And then they said, no, it's going to be a standing start. So I thought to myself, I'm shocked that they've done it with a standing start, being how wet it was. Usually they do a rolling start when the weather gets that bad, but they done a standing start. So lights out of the way we go. Piastri had a good start. His nose was just in front of the corner and he went off track, but he's still I think he went off track Antonelli, because Antonelli got the pole. He went off track and Piastri kept his nose in front, stayed in front. So straight away, Antonelli, first time on a pole, or should I say, and he kind of messed it up. But that's with experience, isn't it? That's going to help him in the future. Yeah. When you make mistakes, you learn from them. And I thought he did learn from them. So what did you think at this time when he went wide?
Antonelli?
Yeah.
No, I thought he was really unlucky for him, considering getting the pole, and he kept the lead quite well as well. It was just unlucky for him. He got into an incident, and that's just the way it is, really. With Formula One, he was fighting in the first corner, maybe got under pressure, and probably weren't used to that before. Staying out in front. It's his first time staying out in front all season. leading a Grand Prix. It's not a Grand Prix sprint race, but it's still a Grand Prix in it. It's his first time leading. The pressure could have got to him, and he lost in 3 positions. That was really unlucky for Antonelli. Felt bad for him. First time getting pole, keeping the lead, first time leading a race in Formula One. I think properly. But yeah, it was really, really lucky for him, Antonelli.
Yeah, and after that, the McLaren's guys got ahead. Lap 8, Piastri was coming on the radio, and he was saying to his engineer, the track's drying up. So everybody was on the intermediate tires. So this was basically look who's going to come in first, because when your tires are wet, when the surface is wet, right, and you start off with the intermediate tires, and then you start to see the surface dry, who comes in first. But the only thing with that is parts of the track were wet. So what you've got to do, you've got to try and find that wet surface, keep the tires cool, because if you don't, what happens to the intermediate tires? They just dry up and then burn away. So at this point, people was discussing who's going to come in first. Lap 11, George was saying I have good pace, implying that his teammates should move over, because Antonelli was a bit slow at this point. George Russell was smashing it. And you know how George is very crafty, and a lot of drivers do this. My pace is good, I can go faster. Lap 11, Tsunoda was the first one to come in. So Red Bull got the test dummy, which is Tsunoda. He came in and put the medium tires on. And then when he put the medium tires on, his pace was good. It was good. So that was the barometer. That was a barometer where they was going. They knew that Tsunoda was good, so we're going to follow him. Lap 12, Lewis pits, puts the soft tires on at this point. I was thinking, what are you doing? So, when Lewis came in at lap 12, Toto, what was you thinking when he came in at lap 12? Because I think the majority of people putting on the medium tires.
I reckon it was the soft tyre put on.
He put the soft tires on, yeah. A lot of people was putting the medium tires on, but lap 12, Lewis put the soft tires on. What was you thinking?
I reckon it was a good gamble, good idea.
At the point, I never thought that though.
What did he have to lose, really? The dry line was appearing on the track.
Yeah.
What did Lewis really have to lose?
He could have put the medium on.
Go for the soft tires and start gaining position, because we all know soft tires are faster than medium tires. Yeah, medium tires are better, when the track's starting to dry up. But I thought soft was a really, really good tire. I reckon, yeah, it'll wear out quicker, but it's fast at the end of the day, and Lewis needs to gain positions, and which he did. And it was a good idea by Lewis, in my opinion. Gambled and it worked. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know this is off topic, but guess who was on NXT yesterday? Because TNA, yeah. TNA working with WWE now. I guess he was on NXT yesterday. Yeah. Guess who wants to walk with Elias? He come on, yeah, he looked good, Yeah, he looked at a big massive hat like that, and his guitar. It looks good, man. I'm glad he's back there for a bit. Anyway, sorry, just went off top. I just saw it on my YouTube thing. Anyway, Lando, lap 7, lap 13 actually. Lando was closing in on Oscar, and Lando was doing good, man. He was getting he was the fastest in the 7. He was a tenth faster than Oscar Piastri in the middle sector. So I was thinking, you know what? Can Lando pass Piastri? Can it happen? Lap 13, Antonelli and Verstappen coming in. That was basically came into pit. They both done. There was a double yellow lines. I don't know what happened to the double yellows. That was on briefly. I don't know who it was. And at this, and this is when the trouble started. As Antonelli was coming out of the pits. Now, Tom, I'm going to ask you, whose fault do you think this is? I think it's not Max's fault. It's his team. As Antonelli was coming out of the pits, they released Max Verstappen, and boom, there was a crash. Max Verstappen, the front of his car, hit Antonelli. Now, Max Verstappen was going mad at his engineers. He didn't go mad at Antonelli. He didn't go mad at Mercedes. He was going mad at his engineer. What did you think at these points? I think it was the engineer's fault. Self-explanatory, really.
Red Bull has had these problems before in this season. Malfunctioning with the board, the red light, green light board, and where the indication for the driver you can get released at the pit lane. Yeah. Of course, you got another guy as well. You always tell there's a hand signal to release them out. But yeah, this is all down to Red Bull. You know, Verstappen in the day has no control. He will go when he's told to go, and that ball went green, and he went right. So you could say both of their fault. Maybe Verstappen should have a better sense of judgment. But you have to blame the team as well. Having that problem with the red light and green light board, and letting him out to
yeah, they didn't get.
So I think it's both of their fault. I don't think it was.
I think it was down to the Red Bull.
Maybe should have used a better sense of judgment, but I think most of the blame has to go on Red Bull. Yeah,
because Antonelli come out first.
Yeah,
so he has priority over the Red Bulls. And what happened is the Red Bull should have notified Max to wait a little bit longer, but they was eager to get him out. And this is what they're missing. They're missing Jonathan Wheatley, because in that situation, Jonathan Wheatley, which we don't like on this channel, we know why, but Jonathan Wheatley, he used to control all that one man, and he's very experienced when it comes to the pit, how they rotate, how they're controlled, what happens, what to do, what to train, what they eat. He controls all of that, yeah. And what happened is he's not there anymore. They've got 4 people doing one job. So this is where it gets discombobulated, because we all know that Red Bull, not this year, because this year they've been dreadful in the pits. But prior to this year, what's happened? We know that Red Bull has been the best when it comes to pits. Everybody knows that. When it comes to pit, they are the ultimate team. Not now, but previous. And this is what happened when you change staff. It happens at Mercedes when Mercedes swapped like a couple of key engineers, left that team. They weren't as good. They won, but they weren't as good. Same thing's happened in Red Bull now. Jonathan Wheatley's not there, and this is what you're getting. So is what it is, isn't it? So it went to the stewards, this incident, and they gave Max Verstappen a 10-second time penalty. Didn't he get a 10-second time penalty at the last race? He did, didn't he? Or 5 seconds, didn't he? So the penalties are racking up now, innit, for Max Verstappen. So when they gave Max Verstappen a 10-second penalty, which gave him the 17th position at the end of the race, because they were clever. He got the 10-second time penalty, but he went for the race. It was for this race. He went for the main race. So at the end of the race, when I think he finished 4th or 5th, yeah, he went down to 17th. So the penalty, he got away with it, really. Let's face it, innit? Because if he would have finished 4th, he would have got, what, 4 points? 4 or 5 points? So for me, I reckon he got away with this. I think this penalty should have been implemented into the main race. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, my opinion. Sprint race, it's still a race, but it's not the main race. It should have been applied
at the main race.
The main race. But look, we know what the FI is like. If Max received the penalty 50-75% of the time, it won't affect him in any way, shape or form. I'm sure Verstappen, he might, be kicking up himself by losing a few points in the sprint race. But let's face it, it's where the main race, it's where it matters. But just it doesn't affect him anyway. Any penalty that Max gets, to keep it simple, it won't affect him.
So Lewis passed Max into the third because there was damage on Max's car. That was at lap 14. Norris pits then just as he pitted, Alonso got shunted into Lawson. So basically this helped Norris. If Norris would have because they pitted Oscar Piastri first, and then after the pit, Norris. If Norris would have pitted, which when he pitted, if Alonso wouldn't have got shunted by Lawson, Norris would have got the third position, and Lewis would have got second. But because he got shunted, that brought out the safety car, and that enabled him to come into the pits, Lando Norris, get a cheap pit stop, come back out and got second. So the winner of the sprint race was, he got first. So basically, when he came into the pit here, he would have come out, he would have probably ended up getting second or maybe third, probably second. But because the safety car come out and he went into the pits at the right time, Lando ended up getting first. So Lando won the sprint race, second was Piastri, and third was Lewis Hamilton. What's your thoughts on that, Lando getting that? But look, at the end of the day, you got to be lucky, and he was there. He was there. He would have got second.
Lando getting the win.
Yeah, because what happened is when if he went for the safety car, when he went into the pit here, because he went into the pit here when the safety car come out, because Alonso got shunted by Lawson. Now, if it wasn't for that, he would have went into the pits anyway, and he would have got second. But because of this, he done it under the safety car, he got first. So what's your thoughts on that? Before we
No,
move on to
you
quick
just-
qualifying.
Yeah, you need a bit of looking for one if you want to win. And I think it was good decision by Lando. It was good tactical thinking by Lando.
Of course.
Getting the pit stop done and under the safety car and finishing under the safety car. It was a good decision by Lando, and he needs as many points as you can get. Lucky or not, you still got the points at the end of the day. And Lando, especially if he wants to win this championship, needs to find every little advantage he can.
He's gonna need the
little points, because he's been losing a lot of points recently. A lot of points where he should have won. Even when on pole, he battles his starts, loses position. Even though he finishes second anyway, he's still losing points to Piastri every single time, and he needs every single point. Every single point he can get.
So let's get into the qualifying briefly. Fastest was Verstappen. Was Verstappen who got pole, isn't it? Verstappen got pole. Second was Piastri. And who got third? Do you know who got third in qualifying?
Who?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Do you know who got third in qualifying? So first was Max. Second was Piastri.
Sprint quali or just quali?
No, just normal qualifying now. I'm just going to go for it briefly. I'm not going to go over it. Second was Lando. First was Piastri. I think it was Piastri. So what do you reckon?
Third was Antonelli.
Not in normal qualifying.
Yeah, it was Antonelli.
So first was Max. Second was Lando. Second Lando or Piastri.
Lando.
So do the positions then, go on.
Third Max. Second Lando. Third Antonelli. Fourth Piastri and fifth Russell.
There you go. So that was qualifying. We're just gonna go over it very briefly. Next time we do this, we'll do it the day after, or if we can, we'll try and do it the same day. Because I know it's been a week, and sometimes it just goes out my head. You can watch it, but it's just not the same, is it? It's just not the same. This is why I want to do it straight away. If not straight away, the day after. But look, things get in the way. Other streams, it's the way it is, isn't it? Life of a YouTuber. So let's go to the race. You want to start off with the race, Toto, or you want me to do it?
I'll start with the race. So, it was action. As soon as the race started, man. Lap 1, it was Antonelli jumping to second place. Taking over Max Verstappen. Good for Antonelli, gaining his positions early in the race. And so what you got to do first corner. You got to take a little advantage, any little slip or someone going off the track. You've got to take advantage of that, man. Antonelli did that perfectly. Going on to second place. And then Norris again, bottom his starts. I know it was a bit scrappy in the first corner, but Piastri seemed to go through it fine. The reason why I mentioned Piastri, because Piastri is effectively his championship rival. It's no longer Max. It's Piastri's got to watch out for. Piastri getting in positions off the start.
Lap 2. Can I do lap 2 now, yeah?
Yeah.
Lap 2, virtual. You got the safety car. Lap 2, virtual safety car. Norris still complaining. Someone pushed him off the track. He didn't realize at this point that someone pushed him off the track. Alpine car was out because that's what the virtual safety car come out. So he was in the. I forgot who was in the Alpine. Now was it Lawson? One of them. Jack Doohan was in Alpine. Lap 4, virtual safety car finishes. Lap 4, Oscar passes Antonelli into second place. So at this point, Oscar was showing pace. So at this point of the race, we have Max in 1, Piastri in 2, Antonelli in 3. Lando was just past Albon as well after lap 4. Lap 9, Piastri engineer said to him, rain expected. Lap 14, hitting turn 7 and 17. Toto, how do engineers know this? How do engineers know this? I understand they know about the races, about the rain coming, yeah? But in lap 9, Piastri's engineer said to him, rain expected, lap 14, hitting turn 10 and turn 17. How do they know what turn it's going to hit?
Just some advanced technology, man. I don't know why.
But it's rubbish because it never hit it, did it?
Exactly. How can it hit turn 10, 1? And then
7 and 17. I know.
Two separate clouds on turn 10 and turn 17.
I know. Maybe the clouds have got the name on it. You never know, you know. One cloud might say lap 7, the other one might say turn 17. You never know. Anyway, is what it is. Never came anyway. Just do the old school way what the Ferrari guy does. Just walks out of the paddock and looks up above the sky and puts his hand out. That's old school. That's all you need. Anyway, that's it, man. Anyway, what I'll do the lap 9, right, and I'll let you take over in a minute. Lap 9, Norris passes Kimi Antonelli on turn 11. Also spun was Alonso at that time as well. So Alonso again suffering in that car. Probably can't wait till next season, by the way. Yeah. Lap 11, Piastri making a charge on Max Verstappen, not letting it go. So you could see that Oscar Piastri was saying, yeah, you can get pole. It's all right getting pole, yeah, but it's a race what matters at the end of the day. You can get pole as much as you want, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's the race what matters. So I was at this point, I was like, well, you know, when it was going on. So while this was happening, Lando was catching them. So basically, they was having a mini battle together. You know, as a racer, yeah, when you got two guys at the front battling for first place, the guy in third place makes up the time because you can't spread your wings because you're battling with the next guy in it. So at lap 11, Max and Piastri was fighting. Max would let it go. He looked like he was moving on the braking. He was moving too close for me. But again, they'll do it for Max and nothing's going to happen. While this was happening, like I said, Lando was catching up. Lap 14, this is where the magic move coming for me. This is what I'm saying about when you've got the fastest car, you should win the championship. But also, you should be able to do the close wheel-to-wheel racing. Okay? So this is where it come in. Lap 14, Piastri forces Max into a mistake. This is where it was brilliant. Max Verstappen was trying to keep his nose in front. So Piastri said, okay, I'm going to keep my car here. You're on the left-hand side. What you got? So Max Verstappen locked up. Piastri said, I knew you was going to do that. Boom, and carried on driving. Very clean, very easy. And straight after that, Max Verstappen came out on the radio, said to his engineer, started moaning about the brakes. Oh, it's my brakes, No, you just got done. Simple as. Just to face it, you got done.
Oh, it was a good battle, though.
Yeah, it was a good battle, but he got done.
You know, he did get done at the end of the day.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verstappen tried his best, didn't he? Took the inside line.
Yeah.
Made him work for it. As his engineer said, stick to the inside line, make him work for it. But you all know it's not as easy as that. But Verstappen did well at defending the position.
Yeah.
Nice and clean, actually. There's a bit of
for once
of both of them going off the track and that, but we're gonna get that with Max, aren't we? Hard defending. Most of the time dirty. This time we weren't.
Yeah, most of the time, all the time.
It was an achievement. So it was good.
Anyway, now Lando making a launch. So Max, Lando decided to try it. He tried to do the same thing. What Piastri done in lap 14, but Max got wise to it and kept covering off that left-hand side. So Lando couldn't really pass him. It took him a couple of laps to pass Max Verstappen, which I thought could have cost him again in the race. The only thing with Lando, there's one thing I say about Lando, it takes too long to pass Max Verstappen. Piastri done it, boom, straight away. And the engineers were literally coaching. This is what Anthony said on Sky. They was literally coaching him how to pass Max Verstappen, exactly how Piastri done it. He should know this. That's the only thing with I think, I personally think, I think that Lando Norris is rattled by Max Verstappen. He's rattled. After last season, when he went into the wheel to wheel with him, I think he's rattled. I think he's scared to go wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen. He wants to pass him clean, on a straight, on a DRS zone. That's what he wants. When he gets the wheel to wheel racing, I really think he's rattled. I don't know what you think of that.
Max.
Yeah, no, I think that Lando's rattled by Max Verstappen.
Yeah, well, I reckon.
The only way you can pass him is on a straight, clean, never wheel to wheel in an angle, like Piastri did. Yeah. Look how long it took Lando to pass him, man.
He hasn't got the drive. He hasn't got the dog. To just go for
the
it.
Dog in it, yeah.
I think we've seen this with Lando. He's got the car under him. He's got no excuses now. Last year, it was Red Bull and McLaren on top, always battling. Norris, for the majority of them races, bottled his start. That's the main reason why, really, he lost a lot of points by bottling his starts. And it's same happening this season. Bottle his starts again, but between him and Max, he's got the car under him. Piastri cleared him in 2 laps.
Exactly.
By the way, 2 laps, and it took Norris ages, man.
I know, too long.
He needs to buckle up. He needs to, because the more them two battle, Piastri's getting away, and by the time Norris has passed him, Piastri's like 8 seconds ahead. He's already gone. He's checked out. And Norris needs to start making these positions up, because if they don't start making these positions up, he's going to lose out on his title, and it's going to make him even more screwed. Just start putting yourself down in the interviews and that. You need to do the stuff. You need to do stuff on track. He can't be putting himself down. He can't be doing all that, because that's going to make him even worse. And we've seen this last season and to this season. You know, he's got better as a driver. He's got way better as a driver, way more clever. He's, you know, when his pit stops are good. He's making the right decisions. His decision making got way better since last season. But he's still missing out them starts. He needs to improve on his starts, because the start could decide your race. He lost. He went from 2nd place to 6th. He's lost 4 positions on the start. 4 positions. That is not good at all. He shouldn't be chasing. If he started in 2nd, he shouldn't be chasing from lap 1.
Yeah, you're right.
He should be chasing for 1st, or even 3rd if he lost one.
So yeah, I totally agree. So lap 17, Lando again. I think it was his 3rd attempt trying to pass Max Verstappen, and he did. But again, similar to what happened the previous weeks, he passed in and they both came off the track. Both of them came off the track. And when Lando passes Max, they both came off the track. So he had to give the place back, which he did. So it took him at least 4 laps to pass Max Verstappen, and he took Piastri 1. That's the difference. This is where he's losing time, Toto. I know you're on the phone, but this is a bit rude, isn't it? He's losing time. Yeah, he's losing time trying to pass Max Verstappen. That's what I think. He's losing time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And that's what I was saying. You know, he was losing time behind Max. And the more times he was fighting with Max, Piastri was getting away. So
lap 18, he finally passes Max Verstappen. Lap 23, on the straight, easy, on the DRS. Lap 23, Lewis passes Ocon. Good battle between them two. Piastri and Oscar in front. That looks like they were going to win the race. Lap 26, Kimi Antonelli pits 4.3 seconds delay in the pits. Going back to the old Mercedes days, delay in the pits they had because Sainz was the reason why it happened, because to be fair to Mercedes, Sainz was coming in trying to undercut Max. He was carrying a flat spot on his tyre. Lap 27, Max comes in to cover off the Mercedes Antonelli. 2 seconds behind Max, delay cost Antonelli. If we went for that delay, if we went for the Antonelli delay, if we went for the Antonelli delay, would have passed Max Verstappen. But obviously, you can't really blame him for the delay, Mercedes, because Carlos Sainz got in their way. So, lap 29, a virtual safety car come out. Piastri, Lando, Russell, and Max after the safety car. That was the leading pack. After the safety car, Lewis put the medium tires on. Smashed the shot. He was smashing the times, catching Leclerc, his teammate. Leclerc and Albon were having a good battle at this time as well. Lap 34. Eventually, Leclerc passing him. Lewis having a sniff. Lap 37. Lewis wants to pass Leclerc. He was clear the fastest. He came on the radio, started complaining to the radio. What's going on? When you're going to let me pass him? I'm faster. Engineer weren't saying anything. Engineer said, I'll have to talk to Charles. And Lewis Hamilton said, are you going to have a cup of tea while you're there? Basically, it's too much of a delay in the pits. So what did you think of this time, Toto? When Lewis Hamilton was frustrated on the radio?
Yeah, it just shows that he's not having a great relationship with Ferrari.
Yeah.
His race engineer. And we saw this before, that his race engineers tend to slow to react, not making these decisions quick enough. Like, if comparing this engineer to Bono's way more quicker decision making, and now this engineer now he's not really good at decision making. It kind of cost him as well.
It cost Lewis. It could have cost Lewis 4th place.
You know, when he was behind Leclerc, he could have told him to let him go, but he never. They'll waiting laps and laps until his tyres are wearing, and then when he finally let him go, his tyres are already worn out because all the dirty air from Leclerc. So when Hamilton was faster than Leclerc, they should have just swapped position straight away and let Lewis get Antonelli, because he was fast on his tyres, and he would probably potentially could have caught him up, but he was too long behind Leclerc. Ferrari took too long to make the decision, like clowns. and it didn't work out in the end.
Oh, no, it's a shame. He had a sniff in lap 37 when having it radio. So Lewis said, "What you need to do, have a cup of tea. You're gonna make a cup of tea while we're waiting." Basically, the thing was the engineers actually spoke to Leclerc that Lewis can Lewis pass you? Yeah, can Lewis pass you? Spoke to Leclerc, said, "Can Lewis pass you?" And without even speaking to Lewis. So they was actually speaking to Charles Leclerc about the incident, but not talking to Lewis. That is absolutely pathetic. At this high level of Formula One, they're doing that is absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
Sorry, Toto, when I said about being rude.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you're looking at your notes. Sorry, bro. It was a mistake because I'm just trying to get through this. It is what it is, isn't it? It just is what it is. Yeah. So at this point, they're basically compromised Lewis's fourth place in my eyes. Laps 39. Lewis Hamilton said, "This is not good teamwork." So Lewis eventually made Lewis pass Leclerc, and then a few laps after that, yeah, they said to Lewis, "Do you want Leclerc to pass? Do you want Leclerc? Yeah. You ain't got the speed. You want the reason why Lewis didn't have the speed because he spent about 5 laps behind Leclerc because Ferrari couldn't come up with make a decision. So when it comes down to lap 46, Leclerc closing on Hamilton, and they said to him, "Look, Leclerc's going to pass you now." And there's Hamilton. "Do you want me to let him? What do you want?"
Yeah,
so there was all this situation, all started from lap 37 all the way to lap 46. That's nearly 10 laps that Ferrari couldn't make a decision. That is absolutely pathetic at this level. The pinnacle of motorsport, you got Ferrari, supposed to be the biggest team in Formula One, the most successful team in Formula One, which they are, yeah, more or less. And I couldn't do this. I just don't understand. Just something what my friend told me ages ago. He says, Lewis ain't going to never win nothing with Ferrari. Lap 48, Russell was showing a race pace holding off Max. So at this point, you had first Oscar Piastri, second was George Russell, and third was Max Verstappen. Leclerc was complaining about overheating his tyres. Lap 53, Lewis let Charles pit. So again, it went on a bit longer. So the debacle started at lap 37, and they didn't even solve it till lap 53. That was pathetic. So they told Charles before Lewis to pass Lewis. Lewis was, I don't know what they were saying. I was just putting on my notes. The engineer said to Lewis, Sainz was behind you, and Lewis said, "Do you want me to let Sainz pass me as well?" So that was a bit of sarcasm from Lewis. What do you think?
Leclerc did that to come on the radio and say, "Yeah, Lewis just needs to go quicker." But if Ferrari would have made a decision quicker, maybe Lewis would have got a better performance out the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Just Lewis is not getting used to the car really.
I know. Bad, and it's really bad. I think it's really bad.
I know it's doesn't like the environment around him, and that could be really bad for a driver. Yeah, you got to drive the car, but if you ain't got a good environment around you, it's not going to be good for you. You won't actually enjoy being there. Like when you go there, he's going to have a bad attitude. You can see Lewis Hamilton's being more of a straight talk on his interviews. Usually, he's more of like, you know what them F1 drivers are like. Their media trained the king of deflecting.
Oh yeah.
But now you see Lewis now. He's more straight in his interview, and he's like, you don't care if you get fined or something like that. He's just saying how it is.
So this is the finishing. It was Piastri first, Lando Norris second, third George Russell. So there is how it finished the race, and that's how it finished. So let's look at the drivers. Let's try and get to the drivers. The driver standings, and we can see the driver standings. And you can see there, Piastri at the top with 131 points. Nice little daylight coming between them now. For him and Lando. Lando with 115. Verstappen 99 points from Max Verstappen. More or less go. He's the looks like he's out of the race, out of the championship. What do you think?
Who
at the moment? Max Verstappen. He's third with 99 points.
See that Red Bull's not the same. Cars last season. Look, it's not over yet. You know what Max is like. He will try his best, but it's not that. He's not that guy anymore. He's not that car anymore. and McLaren looks like they might run away with it.
It looks like it, isn't it? It looks like it.
Constructors are going to run away with the constructors.
It's out of them too, isn't it? Oh yeah, they've definitely got the constructors
in the bag already. Just call it now. You know,
look at there is there. Look at the constructors already.
Yeah, it's over. It's over already. It's been what 5-6 races and it's already over. But
Six races.
6 races. But for the driver's title, I think it's still close between Max, Lando, and Piastri. I
don't think it is.
I know Max hasn't got the same car, but it's just.
I think Piastri. I think Piastri's on the next level. I do.
Yeah,
I think he stepped up this year. You know, soon I'm going to be naming who I think is going to win the title. I'm not going to say it yet because it's too early. Unless Norris makes up something in his next couple of races, and when we go to the like Silverstone and Spa, it does something. You get me? But at the moment, it's looking like Piastri really to lose. But it's definitely at the 2 drivers, the Piastri and Norris. So that's it, man. That's the end of the review. Next time, Toto, when we do the reviews, I'm gonna do qualifying on the Saturday. You know, when it finishes. Yeah. Because the football season's finishing soon. So on Saturday, I'm gonna do the qualifying, yeah. And on Sunday, we're gonna do the race review, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying, Toto? Mm. So when the football finishes, I don't like when we do all this year. Where we do it like all in one. I don't like that idea because I can't see. Like that's why I don't qualify the other day. I don't qualify the other day because I just concentrated on qualifying. I like that. Obviously, when the football season's on, we can't do that. We've got to go back to this way. But when the football season finishes, there's going to be less videos to do. So when Formula One comes on, say on a Saturday, when qualifying finishes, say at 2:00, we're going to do the qualifying review, and on Sunday we do the race review, and that's it. And that's you know what I'm saying. You prefer it that way when the football's in villages. Yeah, don't mind that. Yeah, that's the way I'm gonna do it. Because then we could just do separate then. But anyway, that's the end of the review. We got through it. Finally, we got through it. Bit of a debacle, but we got there in the end. And man, that's it, man. F1 round 6 Miami GP race weekend review finished. So guys, remember when the football season finishes, football season finishes in 2 weeks. Formula One will be back in 2 weeks. So when Formula One comes back on, I think when's the next race? When is what is the next race? Imola. So when it comes back in 2 weeks' time at Imola, on Saturday when they have the qualifying, we will be doing a qualifying review. Yeah, live straight after it finishes, right? Live. Soon as that qualifying, because then as well, if you do it that way, Toto, I bet you a tenner, yeah? If you do it that way, yeah, you won't have to do your notes. Yeah. If you watch it live, qualifying live, and then you go live straight after, you won't have to do your notes because it'll be in there. It'll be in your noggin. It's old school, that is noggin. Anyway, it's your brain. Anyway, your head. Anyway, so Toto, anything coming up on the channel?
What's coming up?
You've been streaming for a while.
Yeah, I need to start streaming. I'm really, really busy. I got lots of stuff to do. But I'm gonna be streaming again. I just need to find time, man. Overall, that's what's coming up. Really, of course, you got Keep It Sports as well. But football content coming up. This week we're playing, aren't we? So
we're playing on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. So keep an eye for that. Either Sunday or Monday we'll do.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it live now. As soon as the race finishes, Dan. When I started doing Formula 1 years ago, on the channel, when I used to go live straight away, I had people coming on because it was live. Straight away. I never waited. And not when it came to Formula 1. Different with football, because football you can wait a little bit longer because football is a lot bigger. It's more global. But with Formula 1, you got to do it quick because if you don't, the interest is gone. They move on to the next race. So what we're going to do now, from next week, when the football season's finished, next week, when Formula 1, I think qualifying is going to be at 2:00 because it's back to normal Europe time. So we're going to be at 2:00. When qualifying finishes, I'll already have the thumbnail ready and we'll go live straight away. Right? And then when the race finishes, we'll go live straight away and that's it all done then. Finished. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to that because the football season is going to be done. So Toto, I'm going to be heading off. I got a watch along coming up. I don't know what I'm going to do. If we're going to be Man United at Attica Club or it's going to be the Spurs game. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do the Spurs game. because I think Man United is already through. Yeah, I'm going to do the Spurs game. It's 3-1 on aggregate to Spurs. Spurs is away. So I'm going to be covering the Spurs game against Boda Gimmick. I can't pronounce it, but I'm going to be doing it later on. So, yeah. Toto, I'm going to be heading off. You all right, Toto? See you later, bro.
Yeah, I know, good.
So before we go, this is, I know this is nothing to do with Formula One, but this is for Arteta, the most delusional manager in the history of football.